What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to Codex Comic Character Week, where we take a character and break them down for you and give our recommended readings and top covers. Guys, I am your host, Jamie. With me, as always, is Sal.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Sal. I'm the Slab Guy. But bam, I'm on YouTube on Sal's Comic Corner. I'm also on Instagram under the Slab Guy 77.
We got Dan.
What's up? Dan Kelly here. You could check me out on Instagram for my art and music at Dan Kelly Art. And my daughter here who decided she wants to be part of this. And you can go on Instagram and check it out at you could also do hashtag Dan Kelly Art and make sure that's Kelly with an EY.
And we got Kev.
Hey guys, how's it going? Greetings and salutations. I am an admin and creator of the group on Facebook, Comic Character of the Day, where we go over a different character, a different cover, and a question of the every day to generate conversations and get to know some of these lesser known characters. Come on over, join up. Would love to have you. We're at, I think, 475 members right now. At 500 members, we're going to be doing a comic book giveaway. If you guys are interested in getting some free comics, come on and join up on Comic Character of the Day on Facebook. But that being said, let's get to the most important part of this. The man himself, Jamie. What you got going on here, my brother?
There's someone better behind me? No, but guys, again, thank you all for who are tuning in right now. Guys, if you haven't yet, go check out the CodexStation.com, your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Go grab some merch. Every penny helps build the channel and the team and these shows. So, guys, go check that out. You can find us on all socials. They'll be linked in there as well. So there's no excuse for you guys not to like, follow, or subscribe, any of it. And also, guys, go check out Comic Character of the Day. We're all in there. We all have great conversations, non-toxic, and guys, it's comics. That's what we're here for. Let's go
And
check
this
that
is
out.
from an expert.
What was that, Kev?
Jamie,
This is from an expert.
Oh, and yeah, I'm an expert somehow.
It's impressive.
I know. I feel like I don't know anything. So I'm always like, yes or no. Those are my answers you typically on there. And then they'll be like messaging me like, can you elaborate? Totally. But guys, today we are doing something a little bit special with the Black Adam movie coming out. Comic Character of the Week's bringing you Black Adam. So with that being said, Dan, first appearance and origin, buddy.
All right. Well, Black Adam's first appearance was all the way back in Marvel Family #1 from December 1945 from Fawcett Comics, created by Otto Binder and C.C. Beck. He did not make a second appearance until 32 years later in Shazam 28 from DC Comics. That is a long way to go from first appearance to second appearance. And then, yeah, like Jamie said, we're doing this episode because the Black Adam movie is coming out. Well, The Rock was announced to play Black Adam in September 2014. It is now October 2022, and we are finally getting the movie. So it seems to be a theme with this character that something happens, and then you have to wait a long time for something else. So his origin is from the original one from Fawcett Comics. Is he was Teth Adam. He was granted powers by the wizard Shazam, the same one that gave Captain Marvel / Shazam his powers from ancient Egypt, which was later changed by DC to the fictional character of or country of Kandak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Kondak, yeah. He became corrupted by his power over time, and he was imprisoned in the original Fawcett continuing. He was banished to a faraway star, and he spent 5,000 years flying back to Earth.
Wow.
In the DC version, he was stripped of his powers and imprisoned in a mystical scarab necklace. He was then later revived by his ancestor, Theo Adam, who became corrupted by the power and killed Billy Batson's parents, which then led to the wizard Shazam giving powers to Billy Batson to combat him. And as far as his powers, it's pretty much the same thing as Captain Marvel, where Captain Marvel says Shazam, and each letter of the word represents a different character, like the Z
God.
is for Zeus. It's the same thing with Black Adam, but each letter represents a different deity. It's for the Egyptian ones. So I apologize now if I mispronounce any of these. It's the stamina of Shu, the swiftness of Heru or Horus, the strength of Aman, the wisdom of Zehuti or Thoth, the power of Atan, and the courage of Mahan.
That's
All
awesome.
r- all right. Well, let's get into a little bit of what Black Adam is and what he does best. So, Kevin, what's some of the best scenarios we could fit with Black Adam?
All right, so I think obviously, like he is been portrayed as a villain throughout the majority of his appearances in comics. I like the anti-hero aspect of him.
Mm.
He's proven himself worthy of trust in the past, absolutely. But he's also proven to be capable of great viciousness and brutality. So the way I like him portrayed the most is he's a good guy, but what's he going to do in this circumstance? Like, we trust him, but we don't trust him. Like, okay, yes, he's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. Wait, he's somebody pissed him off. Is he going to rip this person into pieces in front of camera while he's representing the Justice Society? I like the ambiguity of whether or not he is reformed or whether or not he should be on this team. I think there's a lot of potential for really interesting dynamics about where exactly do we draw the line for this guy. That I think is a lot of fun and a lot of potential to play with as far as like what you can do with that character.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah, for me, it's pretty much the same thing. When he was a villain, it was just kind of, okay, he's evil Captain Marvel. He's got the
Right.
same powers. The suit's the same. It's just Black Adam's wore black and Shazam or Captain Marvel was red. But it was just kind of that. He's older and he's the bad guy, and that's that. When they started using him in JSA and really made him like Kevin said, the anti-hero, that's where the character really kind of became something that was really interesting. And it's not, and sometimes he's almost like Namor from Marvel. Sometimes he'll be the bad guy, sometimes he'll be the good guy, but he's never a bad guy in the sense of oh, I want to subjugate the world for everyone to follow my rule, or I'm going to go rob a bank or do this or that. Like everything that he does is he's the hero of his story, and everything he does, he thinks it's like this is the right thing to do. And yeah, Kevin said he can be absolutely brutal more than most any other characters, but it's not just that he's doing it. Like I said, he's not doing it to go rob a bank. It's for something that he feels like he can justify that. Yeah, I might team up with these bad guys, but it's because I think this is what I need to do to get to where to get the world or to get a certain thing to where I want it to be.
Right.
All right, Sal.
All right. Well, not knowing a lot about Black Adam myself, I'm gonna go completely opposite of these two guys. But no, I think he should be 100% villain because he is the antithesis to Captain Marvel or Shazam. And if you think about it, in my eyes, you see Shazam, and he is like Superman, ultra powered, completely 100%, good. And you need a polar opposite to combat that. And since he is so immensely powerful, you're going to need a Black Adam that is just as powerful, happens to use the same power set. That's fantastic to have these epic type of battles. So whether he recruits, more villains because he needs to get stuff done, that's fantastic. But I think it's just one of my pet peeves. I don't think every villain deserves a redemption arc. You're a villain. You're a
True.
villain.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Do it. That type of thing.
But
So
see, sorry, I thought.
that's all right. That's all right. So that's why I feel that he has to be the complete polar opposite of Captain Marvel or Shazam. So that's why
I think he works. I think it's a little different with him because, for his origin, he was granted the powers because he was such, a good guy, and he was so righteous that he was granted these powers to become a protector. And he was a protector for, he was the good guy for I think it was a couple hundred years,
right?
But then before his power corrupted him, which also brings up something interesting with Captain Atom. It's it's Billy Batson, and he's like this, this great, what do they call him? Like the world's mightiest mortal. And, he's this great shining beacon. But all right, given the same situation 100 or 200 years down the line, is he going to end up getting corrupted by the power the same way that Black Adam was?
That's the thing. You never know. You just don't know. That could happen.
It's different for him because we're only told in the origin he was this great righteous man, and that's why he got the power. But we don't see him initially until he's already a bad guy. I think it would have been different if it would have been introduced as a good guy, and then you see him go bad, and then he goes back to good.
You see, to do a little reference here, Sinestro was a Green Lantern and supposed to be a good guy, but ruled his sector through fear. Ruled it, and he everything he did to make his sector the perfect sector was completely the wrong way, and so that's what kind of led him down the path to be, Sinestro and the Fear Lanterns, the Fear Corps. So
here's another devil's advocate point that I'd like to make. Sorry to keep waiting here, Jamie, but he could still be an anti-hero and be Shazam's antithesis. He could still be morally opposed to Billy and still be an anti-hero. They could still be mortal enemies and still be on the same side, kind of technically.
Depends on who's right. Yeah.
But not, necessarily on the same side.
Yeah.
Just there's potential for storytelling that way as well.
All right, you got your opinion. I have mine.
Thank you.
Deal.
What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie, come on.
Okay, so as far as best scenario where he fits, he has to be the lone wolf. He can't fit in a team. I'm sorry, as much as everyone loves injecting character A or B here into a team, he's one of those characters you just can't.
I agree.
I feel like he doesn't work well in the comics. Obviously, he doesn't work well with others, but I mean, in standards of viewership and people like us that are consuming this media, to me he just does not fit well with teams. It's always a contradiction when you stick him in a team. If you put him in a JSA, if you put him in the Justice League, if you put him with the Titans, it doesn't matter where you insert him at. To me, I lose so much interest as him being a team member rather than being the lone powerhouse wolf he is. He is the alpha that should be the alpha.
Yeah.
And logically, he should be not in a team because his focus should be Kahndaq.
And he's someone that
I don't have time to do all this other crap. I have this entire country to rule. I mean,
and he's not someone that you would see as, all right, he's in a team and he's following someone else. Like, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would follow. He's the kind of guy that would demand to lead.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yep.
Right. So, speaking of how powerful and being alpha male as he possibly can be, Sal, what's some of the badass moments you got for us, bud?
I actually do not have because like I said, I've never really read Black Adam. So
okay.
So let me throw some possible theories out there for you. So some badass moments. I want to see him using his power to the fullest. If he's out there, even like Kevin said, as an anti-hero or villain, I don't want to see him holding back using his power set. Mm-hmm. That's my envision of a badass moment for him.
All right. Kevin.
Number 3 is in Infinite Crisis number 5. He kills Psycho Pirate with 2 fingers.
Oh yeah, right, poof, right in the eyes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's one of the most vicious things I've seen. I'm like, yeah. He starts World War III
Mm-hmm.
in the World War III series. It's like, I will show you war. And he just creates a scenario that sets up the entire world against one another. I mean, that's scary. The potential that he has to just spark off like millions of deaths. I mean, it's not on a whim. There was reasons behind it, of course, but like,
Right.
if you wanted to, like, that's scary as hell. I mean, the potential there is ridiculous. And this one is for you guys. The fact that he is as powerful as he is, and he became a Yellow Lantern in Black Adam number 17 in 2015.
Yeah.
Becoming a Yellow Lantern in addition to all the rest of his powers. It's like, you have shown the potential to generate great fear. Yeah, like if I find out that Black Adam isn't happy with me, I'm needing to get some adult diapers because there's no way, man. Like, I'll give up. Yeah, damn, it's intimidating as hell.
Wasn't that the same issue where he offered to grant some of his power to Batman, so that Batman could like watch over Gotham, basically like,
Yeah, it was
become
along those
immortal and
lines. He
powerful
basically
to-
said, like, I will grant you, X amount of my power. But there was a deal that was struck that Batman's like, I don't need your power if I'm making a deal like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very Batman.
Yeah.
Yes. So Dan.
Yeah, I had two of the same ones that Kevin had. The World War III when he like took on the Teen Titans and Doom Patrol and JLA and JSA, and he just like him by himself just obliterated them.
Yeah.
In the Infinite Crisis scene where he just put his 2 fingers at Psycho Pirate's eyes and just pushed his hand through his head like it was just nothing. So.
Right.
So he took 2 of mine. So I'll say the one it was in, I forget what issue of 52 it was, when and I forget the name of the crocodile guy that was
Excuse me.
kind of hanging out around his I guess it would be his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
I believe-
and convinced his brother-in-law like to give up the power, and as soon as he did and became
He ate him.
immortal, he ate him. And when Black Adam found him, he just killed him by just grabbing his croc mouth and just rip.
I believe
that-
that the Egyptian crocodile deity is Sobek, if I'm not
Sobek,
mistaken.
yeah, that's who it
Yep.
was. You're right.
Yep. Mhm.
And the other one I'll say is in the Black Rain storyline from JSA, when he breaks off from the Justice Society and he's like, you're not handling things the way that they need to be handled. Like we need finite solutions. So he goes back to his home country of Kandak. I'm gonna keep saying it wrong.
Okay.
And he just gets rid of the dictator that was running it, takes on and kills the whole army himself.
Mhm.
And he's got some JSA people that quit to follow him, and he just goes in and says, "Yep, this is my country now. I'm the ruler." And it was just, I mean, how many guys do that? Just walk and do it to the country, kill the army, kill the leader, and say, "It's my country now.
Deal with it.
What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do about it?"
Yeah.
And everyone's like, and everyone just says, "Okay, you're the leader now."
Right. So I had a couple of the same. I have one different, but technically one of the same. So I had him becoming the Yellow Lantern, becoming fear itself.
Yeah.
I also had Black Adam mopping the floor with JSA, where he just annihilates every single one of them,
So
and
cool.
no one stands a chance against him. The 4-page spread that they had of it, I believe it was in World War III,
Yeah.
was just amazing. And then my number 1 was him ripping a criminal in half to
Mhm.
prove his point to Kondak that this will not stand while I am running your country. I am not going to deal with it. If you have something to say, you may say it now. And everyone looked and carried on with their day.
Love
That's-
you.
All right, so we just went through the 3 badass moments that we all chose, or in Sal's case, his theory, which is
Theory.
Yeah.
great.
And-
Let's get into some critiques then, and why Black Adam kind of sucks in some areas. So we'll start with you, Kev.
They keep writing him really one-dimensionally. I think there's a lot of untapped potential there for a character who fights against his own nurture, not nature, because he is a product of his experiences. I think more than like his early life or his genetics. I think he's became the person that he is through experience, not because of his parentage. Um, where am I? And he tried to prove himself. He goes out of his way to prove himself hardcore and intimidate everybody. Yeah, it's been established. You're hardcore. You're super next level badass. He doesn't need to rely upon that anymore. I would like for them to write him trying to be good, to do the right thing, and fight against his instincts to be like, I'm sorry, said what to me? Like I'm gonna rip you in half just because. I would like more, not doubt, but him struggling with more moral dilemmas than his very straightforward. I know what's best all the time, always and forever about everything. Nobody, no matter how self-assured, um, is that like I know everything. Everybody questions themselves to a certain extent, and I would like for them to explore that a little bit more with this character. I think that could make him more interesting, more three-dimensional, more well-rounded guy.
All right, Dan.
Yeah, those are some good points. Maybe something where he, you said, you maybe see some kind of inner monologue where he might be conflicted about things.
Right.
My biggest issue with it is not so much of the character, but how he's used as, like what Jamie said, for being part of a team. Like, where there's the interesting thing of, all right, he's on the Justice League, and you see him that's going to be standing alone with just about everything because no one's going to want to be as brutal and final as he is. I don't like that. He's almost exclusively used in team books,
Yeah.
or as like as a secondary character because he's part of a team. He's had the 6-issue miniseries. He had the one shot that was for the Endless Winter, and then they
Mhm.
just launched a regular series, but it's not even really about him as much as it's him and this other guy.
The new White Adam.
Yeah, like I want to see him be the focus of his own book because he's an
Yeah.
interesting enough character
Yeah.
that, like I said, almost like a Namor. Like, he's this guy that could flip flop between being the good guy and being the bad guy depending on what his viewpoint is and how other people perceive what he wants to do. He rules his own country. I mean, there's a lot to work with there that you could do a really good solo book with him. I mean, they obviously, DC or Warner Brothers obviously thinks enough of the character that they gave him his own movie,
Yeah.
before a lot of other characters that have been solo characters for years. So
Mm.
let's get him in his own solo book that's exclusively, about him.
Right. No, great point. Sale.
I'm gonna have to agree. I think getting his own solo book and getting him into be building more of a character. But I really can't emphasize this enough. I really want to see him full on villain before we start going down the moral and ethical road. I want to see him be the villain for a good while, be the antithesis of Shazam or Captain Marvel, however you want to say it, and just give me all that backstory to that whole corruption. I want to see
Yeah.
all that, you know?
Yeah.
And then later down the road, if you wanted to bring him in as the anti-hero, I'll be open to it. But I just, I don't know. I think it's just lacking. What we're lacking is a good villain.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And you
Yeah.
got to
One of-
kind of look at him like if you're going to make him the anti-hero, like who's going to be his villain? Like who's going to be bad enough to be the bad guy for him
Right.
when this is a guy that just would not think twice about, like you said, just ripping someone in half just to prove his point. Like
Right.
who's going to be the guy that's, that he thinks goes too far.
Right.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
things, sorry to interrupt, Jamie, but
Mhm.
I would like to clarify for those of you who are not all that familiar with the history of this. We keep mentioning, I think you know where I'm going to go with this, though,
Yeah.
Sal. Those who are not as familiar with the history, we keep mentioning Captain Marvel and Shazam. Those of you who, when they hear Captain Marvel, think Carol Danvers from Marvel, the Avengers. That is the person who has the name now. For years, the character of Shazam had the name Captain Marvel, and Marvel got the name, the copy got the rights to the name to use it for Carol Danvers' character in the Avengers, and DC switched the name Captain Marvel to Shazam to keep the character from getting problems with the sue with the lawyers and everything. So I don't know if that clarified anything, but yeah, there were two Captain Marvels running around. But any reference that you hear in this episode to Captain Marvel, what we really mean is Shazam.
Shazam.
All right. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead, Jamie. What were you going to say?
No, I was gonna say that, when it comes to sucking in an instance, I feel like the area that he does the most in is that he is, and I'm gonna agree with Sale, he's a villain. I love my anti-heroes. I do, but he is a villain. He is a dictator.
Yeah.
Like I'm
He's a-
enunciating this because
he's a
this is what
tater.
he is.
He's a tater. He's a
You
tater.
know, he's not the guy that you're gonna go to. Hey, Black Adam, could you help us with this one? And then we'll owe you later. No, I want the guy that's drawing the line in the sand saying, if you cross over here right now, you expect to die.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
come near my country. Don't come near my people. Don't change my rulings. This is what it is. If you step foot in here expecting that, expect to be beaten down.
Like
Yes.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Doctor the
Yeah.
DC's Doctor Doom.
But see, here's the difference is that with Dr. Doom, he does play into that kind of, I'm going to help, but I'm still going to do my own thing. I don't want that. I want, you're on your own.
Yeah.
I'll watch from afar. If he comes in my territory, then we'll worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the villain I want. I want anytime he sees Billy Batson just to beat the bricks off of him until he can't stop no more, until his knuckles can't take it. That's the villain that's the villain DC needs.
Yeah.
We don't have many villains that have just a villain arc. We have these villains that have this soul searching moment where they got to dig deep down and be like, who am I really? No, you got a guy standing right there that's willing to rip people in half, willing to take out armies, countries, the Justice League. It doesn't matter who it is. Darkseid, he could step toe to toe with him and he will fight him until he can't. That's the villain we need. And that's the reason he sucks right now is because he is not that.
That's an awesome, excellent point. I still think you can make him a villain, but make him more three-dimensional, and have him kind of.
But that takes away from who he should be then.
Well,
that's like saying, okay, we're gonna take Jason Todd and he's just gonna shoot people. We're gonna ignore the Batman realm.
And
we're gonna take the unnamed and just use that arc because that's what it was. No, it doesn't make sense then. He was a villain starting. He is one of the most powerful ones, in my opinion.
Yep.
Establish that. And they hold him back so much on what he does, it makes it less caring of a character. When the minute and 30 seconds we got of the Black Adam trailer, which is coming out this week, as far as this episode goes, is the Black Adam we need, just picking one of the guys up and just disintegrating him in his hand. That's the guy we need. Not the
Yeah,
guy
where he
that's
says
like,
something like your magic is weak, or
you should, maybe I shouldn't do this. Let me put you back down. No, no, destroy him.
I'm gonna hurt you really bad. No.
Yeah. No,
So
okay, Jared Leto's Joker. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really bad. Like, no, come on. That's not what we need.
You love.
yeah, that's
Jared
why I
Leto.
said, like, I don't, if he would be, I don't like seeing him so much at a team like the Justice League or the Justice Society, because he's not someone that's going to willingly follow someone else's rules.
Right.
The only time for me that it really worked, or even like, when he teams up with the Injustice Society, and that the only time it really worked was when he broke off from the JSA to take over his home country, and he had the team of people that were with him, but it was clear he's like, you're here to do what I say.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You do what I say, or
My way or the highway.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's not, this is a this is a democracy, or this is that. He's like, no, he is the embodiment of might makes right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, let's see some of those moments on covers, and I will start this off with my top 3.
Yay.
So at first we have Black Adam #1. It was a one shot out of the New 52. They had Villain of the Month running at that time, where they had like issues for this. It was issue 7, but most of them were 23. It'd be 23.1, 2, 3, and 4. This is 7.4. We have Black Adam, the miniseries #1, which I think is an amazing cover, let alone. And I love the fact that Tomasi's on it, if anyone else, cares. But the last one is actually off the new series, and it is a variant cover of Black Adam just annihilating Darkseid's face. How much better does that get than that?
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like the pieces flying off of Darkseid's face.
Good ones.
Yeah. So here we go with Sale.
All right. Hit me. So, once again, I'm not a big reader into Black Adam, but I did some work in the powers of the internet and Google. So I found these covers. I thought they were pretty cool looking, and then I researched the stories behind them, and I found that if I'm going to really dig into Black Adam, these are the 3 stories I want to read. We got the power of Shazam. I think that then leads to the World War III story, if I'm right. And then we have Black Adam: The Dark Age. Or did I get that backwards? Is it Black Adam: The Dark Age first?
Dark Age.
Yeah,
Dark
then Dark Age goes into World War III. So I read the synopsis of each of these, and I could actually just pull up my notes and see it there. Yep. So the World War III actually leads into the Dark Age storyline. So when I looked at these stories and I read their synopsis and checked out a little bit of them, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to jump into Shazam, these are the stories I want to see or read.
All right. And then next up, we have Dan.
All right. So the 3 I picked, the 52 series, where DC did that, and it was a new issue every week. One of the main it focused on a bunch of different characters. One of the main characters was Black Adam, and that cover for issue 45 there is just, I feel like that's how he sees, other than being an awesome looking cover, like that's how he sees himself, is he's sitting on this throne. Everybody else is just defeated at his feet, and he's victorious completely. And
that's an iconic cover.
Yeah. The second one, the Black Adam #3, is, I mean, that's just an awesome cover with him, just going to war with Hawkman, which, I mean, as much as I love Hawkman, he would be a smear after fighting Black Adam. But, they both have that ancient Egyptian connection.
Yes.
And then the other one, actually, I think you mixed them up, Jamie. The other one I had for my best covers was the Justice Society of America number 23, the Adam Ross one, or the
Okay.
Alex Ross
Oh,
one,
Maybe,
where
maybe I might have with Kevin.
yeah, because that one, well, no, because that cover there, which I mean, it's still a badass cover from the first issue of his miniseries, the Dark Age. Um, but yeah, it was the Justice Society number 23 cover where, like I said, the Alex Ross painting where he's just standing there with the black background that Alex Ross did for a lot of the JSA covers for
Ah,
Yeah.
where he's want to
okay.
focus on a different character. Like it's just, it was just a really awesome one because you see the lightning in his chest symbol kind of lighting up and you know and you see his face but like the black of his suit just kind of melds with the background of the cover.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. I'll get that up for you. My apologies on that one. It ran into your storyline on that
Yeah.
one. Just give me one moment here.
Yeah, for
There you go.
Yeah,
this,
there you
Yeah.
are.
this one.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, it's
Classic.
just like
That's a badass
it's one of
cover.
those ones with just where it doesn't need a lot in the background. It just pops.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
And that look
Very-
on his face, in the way he has his hand, that's just like, yeah, I'm gonna pick you up in this hand, and I'm just gonna crush you.
Yep.
See the little
So-
title at the bottom, the faces of evil,
Yeah.
of evil.
Yeah,
Not
it's not morally subjected to evil. It's just
Yes.
evil.
yes.
All right, and then lastly we got Kevin.
All right.
Oh, there's a book.
Just I can't even explain why they're just badass. Like the first one, Black Adam what is that, number 1?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's from the
Yeah.
new series.
Right. Just so hardcore. Controlling lightning, that's just iconic Shazam family imagery right there. And the second one is just the stark contrast between the black of his costume and the white background just stands out so dramatically.
Yeah.
And I love the Justice Society number 25 cover because it's a dark inflection of the Shazam family. And it's just like so cool. It's like him with his own evil. All right, I'll give it up to you guys. Evil family, and it's just such a like
Evil.
evil.
Yeah, that's where like Mary
Right.
Marvel started getting corrupted, and she was kind of not necessarily a bad guy for a while, but
Right.
definitely started going down a darker path.
Yes, so cool.
Morally ethical path, morally non-ethical.
Yeah,
And now she's Captain Marvel.
Am I
Mhm.
gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
Or I'm sorry, she's now Shazam.
Yep.
is the more ethically moral dilemma thing? That's going to come back to haunt me now, isn't it? That's going to
Forever.
Yes, forever.
be me with that for a while, for the rest of the our dynamic relationship. Aren't you?
The morally ethical Kevin.
Right. All
I
right.
like
Oh,
that
with-
I like that you
Fair.
described this as a dynamic relationship.
yes.
Well, I'm
I
not
would
saying-
say, like most of my family, dysfunctional, but
I'm not
go.
saying it's a healthy one, but it is a dynamic.
It is something. So you got
That's-
that going for you.
yes.
All right, well, thank you for that.
So to go along with those covers, let's get into some of the more essential readings. And Sal, we're gonna start with you, buddy.
All right. So like I said, I went with these. I want to start reading. If I'm going to start reading Black Adam, I want to start with the Dark Age. And which hold on a second. Let me make sure I get this in the right order. Actually, I want to start with the Power of Shazam.
Mhm.
Okay. And then I want to get into World War III, and then to have that lead into Black Adam: The Dark Age. Those are the three readings.
Right.
All right.
And then we're gonna go with Dan.
Nice. Yay.
Yeah, I went with and they're not really in a particular order. Black Adam: The Dark Age. Was his first ever solo miniseries, a 6-issue series that it was written by Peter Tomasi. It was drawn by Doug Mank, who just or Mankey, however you say it, who's just, his style really suits this character. It was his quest to kind of regain his powers after he had lost them, trying to resurrect his wife Isis. That was really good. JSA Black Rain, that's the one I mentioned earlier, where he leaves the Justice Society and goes back to his country, kills a dictator, kills the army, takes the country over. And there were a couple people that left the JSA to go with him. And
Whoa.
you just,
Bonus.
and then you all right there?
Oh yeah, bad. Sorry.
And then you see, it was that one storyline, but it carried on for a while, especially for a character like Atom Smasher that really, helped define a lot of other characters. And not every character makes it out of that story alive. And,
Ow.
and then the 52 series, like I said, where he was one of the main characters, and he gets his family back in it, where he gets Isis and and her younger brother, and then he loses them, and you just see like how brutal he can actually be.
Yeah, great picks on that one. Kevin, you are up.
All right. Let's see. These are not necessarily in order either, but that's fun. Number 3, Black Adam: Rise and Fall of an Emperor. I believe that's the one where he decides to take over. If I'm not mistaken, this is the one where Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are not around, and he decides that I'm going to take over as the hero for everybody. And once again, might makes right. I know what I'm doing better than everybody, and I could do all of this better than the three of them combined. And he plays the part of the hero, but he's just vicious in his execution of it. Number 2, Black Rain is just a really fun deep dive into his. And once again, I like to do things differently, but I got to go with 52 Weeks. The character development for him in that was just amazingly written. He got Isis, and she softened him up. She was like, mercy, calm, your people deserve more understanding, and he decided to listen and was like, all right, I'll try it your way. I won't kill this person outright. I'll try a little bit of mercy. And he was beginning to soften up, and it was like, all right, this is really cool. He's beginning to develop into an interesting character. And then, as Dan said, she dies. And then, like, all pretense of mercy and reasonability just left him. He's like, everybody gets some. Everybody. Just
these hands are rated E for everyone.
I tried to be a better person for her, and then you took her from me. So you think I was brutal before? You watch me now.
All right. I have superhuman strength, superhuman speed, and flight. If everybody could just stand in a line, I'm just going to fly by and slap the crap out of each and every last one of you in a row. We could just make this easy for everybody. Come on. That was such an amazing storyline. I mean, I don't want to get into too much other than the Black Adam aspect of it, but there was so much more going on in that run. That was so great. Highly recommend 52 just in general, if not for just the Black Adam aspects of it.
So was his wife Isis actually murdered or killed, or just died naturally, or what?
I think she was killed.
She was killed. She was her younger brother was killed, and then she was killed. And like each time it was, it's
by another sin.
It just kept pushing him, not just back to where he was before then, but pushing him even further. And Kevin's right, like 52, not even just for Black Adam, but for everything. That's from those years where DC, had almost a 10-year run or so where they were just hitting on all cylinders, and they were knocking it out with like 52 and Infinite Crisis and Identity Crisis and the Green Lantern crossovers that they were doing, like
Yeah.
Blackest Night, and and they had the Brightest Day series that was like 52, that was a new issue every week, and I mean there was a run there where DC
Yeah,
was just
amazing and
killing it
brilliant.
on story and in art.
One of the things that I'd like to add for the 52 weeks, DC is a little bit confusing because they have the new 52
Yeah.
weeks. They have a lot of,
And then they have Countdown 52.
right. But the 52 weeks run, one of the things that I think made that so brilliant is they took the big three, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, out of the equation. They weren't even a part of that run.
Yeah.
And it was still such like the most engaging story that I've ever read in comics, pretty much. Like Marvel Image, like they all tell these great stories, but I think that was like my favorite run in comics ever. It was 52 weeks.
Okay.
And Animal Man, but we'll get into him some other time.
All right. So as for me, I got
Yes.
JSA Black Rain, I got the Power of Shazam, and I have Forever Evil.
Yeah, there was some good stuff with him in Forever Evil.
Yeah, especially when he gets the jaw broken and then he's like,
Yeah.
"Say my name."
Yeah.
We'll leave that for interpretation for everybody. But him and Forever Evil, which for those who don't know what Forever Evil is, basically the villains are trying to be the heroes that Kevin wants him to be, and
I'm never gonna live this down.
Never.
Yeah, that was when the what is it, I want to say Crime Syndicate. It's Crime Syndicate, right?
yeah, Crime Syndicate.
Yeah, when they came over and they
were trying to
snuck
make
over
New
and just
Order.
started taking over, yeah, and the villains had to fight them.
Yeah, so all the villains are still there, and the only true villain was Black Adam because everyone else had a morale code that they wanted to go by. Kevin. So
Yep.
The artwork in that was really great too by David Finch.
oh, it was amazing throughout the whole thing. But
Yeah.
he
if
does
I
beautiful.
had to pick two across the board that we've seen so far, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say I would go with Power of Shazam and Forever Evil. Forever Evil is a 7-issue series unless you go with the tie-in, so it's a little bit quicker read.
Yes.
It's 7 issues unless you go with the tie-ins, and then it's 65.
Yes. No, I did the math at 73.
Oh, okay.
Actually, legitimately 73.
Yes.
Holy crap. That's amazing.
Yes. As if you can,
It's
and that's not counting the villains of the month that they had in between all the issues.
Mm.
So
Or the
That's
lead-up issues.
Right.
right. So with that being said, some of these covers and some of these ratings, where do you guys see the best artist and writer for it? We'll go with Dan.
For best writer, I know you and Sal like him strictly as a villain, but for me, the best writer was Jeff Johns, because
Excuse me.
when he started putting him in JSA, it took him from just being strictly he's the bad guy version of Shazam or Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call him, and that's just kind of what he was. So he was a one-dimensional character, and Jeff Johns started writing him as kind of the anti-hero or whatever you want to call him, but he's still brutal, and he's still not someone that you want to mess with, and is not going to get along with everyone, but actually started fleshing him out as a character more. And so that's where that's really where the Black Adam that is in DC now, and I'm going to guess is going to be in the movie, that's where the character was really born, was when Jeff Johns. It was originally Jeff Johns and David Goyer on JSA, and then just Jeff Johns.
Mm.
And for artist, I'm going to have to go with the one that did the miniseries, Doug Mahnke. Like I said, his style, his artwork is just really suits itself well to guys that are just big, ridiculously muscular and brutal. And that's everything that Black Adam is.
All right. So
Fair enough.
Kevin.
I like not necessarily going with the grain to go some different perspectives, but With this one, I really don't have any other option than to say Jeff Johns. He
Okay.
really is the he really is like I don't know the one of the best writers for DC out there, and he's done some tremendous work. So yeah, I got to go with Jeff Johns. Don't really have any other choice with that. An artist, I got to go with Dan Jurgens. He's great stuff. But I would like to preface all of this by saying favorite artist for any of these characters will always be Alex Ross or Jim Lee. But that's just standard. Let's just assume that that's my number one answer, and any answer I come up with other than that will be the official answer.
Awesome. Well, Sal, you got anybody?
Actually, they've already been mentioned. I was going to say Jeff Johns for writer and Alex Ross for artist. From what I
See?
looked at, and I like Jeff Johns' writing too. So if he's writing Black Adam, I'll be very interested in seeing what he has to write. So
Totally.
I'm gonna go with those.
All right. Well, I guess I'm the odd man out as usual. So my writer's going to be Tomasi, and my artist is Edgar Salazar.
I'm not as familiar with that guy.
Yeah. So Salazar was on the one that I showed you the cover. I'll bring it up again for that. But he did the interior work. He did all the pencil work on that one. And that brought him more into popularity working with DC from that one. He was supposed to have an ongoing series with Black Adam that got canceled. Stemming from that.
Isn't Salazar the enemy of the Flash? Guys, come on, you gotta know the
Savitar.
reference.
Yeah.
No,
Savitar.
That's the
No,
yeah.
Savitar. Yeah, Savitar is from Gorilla City.
Yeah.
He's I guess would be the good guy compared to Gorilla Grodd's bad guy.
I just had to throw out a deep cut there. All right.
Oh, I think we just threw out a few deep cuts.
Didn't quite land. My bad.
It's all right. But like everything that ends bad, let's take this show on the road. Guys, Black Adam's coming out this week. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. We'll probably have a review of it once it comes out as well. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Once again, I'm Jamie. We got Sal.
And you can find me at Sal's Comic Corner on YouTube, where I talk about my corner, and also the Slab Guy 77 on Instagram.
And Dan.
You can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art, or you can just search hashtag Dan Kelly Art on there, and a lot of my stuff will come up. It's art, it's music. Click on it, like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, we got Kev.
You can find me at Sal Slab Corner on. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, come on! See, that's not
Now
evil enough. That's not
now
evil
you know
enough.
what that. Now you know what that scratching is coming from the walls at night.
Mhm.
My name is Kevin. I run the group on Facebook with the rest of these guys called Comic Character of the Day. We go into different characters, different covers, and different questions to engage in conversation and try to help educate people about some of these lesser known characters. And we'd love to have you come on over, check it out, and join us. Once again, we're doing a comic book giveaway at 500 members. We're at 475. We're almost there, and with your help, you might be able to get the opportunity to win some free swag. Look forward to seeing you over there soon. But the man of the hour, Jamie, tell us what is hot.
I don't know what's hot, but I can tell you where to go to find some hot new merch. Go to thecodexstation.com. Guys, go get your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Definitely go check out where we're at, because we are on every platform. So there's no excuse for you guys not to like, share, subscribe, and follow. We're 10 away right now from Twitch to hit 50. So if we do get that, we will have a special episode that I'm going to do, even if it's just me. And guys, definitely go check Comic Character Day. I'm telling you right now, it's a great group, great community, a lot of people in there. We're in there. Somehow I'm an expert still. Even though I do these shows and I'm like, I'm not. But guys, as always, as I say, be kind to one another out there. If I could talk to that'd be great. You never know what everyone's going through, and even making someone smile could change the course of their day or life. So always be kind. And ladies and gents and everybody else, we'll see you in the next one.
Much love. Peace.